Your small business does not have to operate in the hustle culture, and we're literally going to build you a plan today. You're going to walk away from this episode with a full on anti hustle business plan. And I'm so excited. Hello, everybody. My name is Michaela, and you are listening to the Cozy and Thriving podcast, the podcast where we are learning to build a life that we actually want to be present for, including in our businesses. And I am so very excited about today's episode because I need this. Okay. I'm literally going to be creating my business anti-hustle blueprint thing with you. It's not just going to be a you build it, I've already done it and it's already working. No, we are literally building it together, and I'm so excited about it. So I actually have my notebook here because you guys, I'm seriously, when I say I'm doing this with you, I'm doing it with you. And this is the Future You notebook. If you've been here for a while, you've seen her. If you've been following me on any social media platform for a little bit, you've seen her. And we're going in her today to write this down. So before I get started, this plan is for those of you who may be new to a business, you're getting ready to start a business, you're thinking about starting a business, and you just need a good plan to get started, or you already have an established business and need a change, need it to not be so hustly. You want it to have more breaks, and I want to help you get there. So we're going to do it together. So today we're covering the foundation of an anti-hustle business model. But the full 10-step guide will be on my Beacon store for free. It will be linked down below. I'm thinking, I don't know 100% yet, but I'm thinking that I will go through this entire guide with you on the podcast, just because I think it would be fun to do. And like, I don't know, we would just get to have like a little bit more of an in-depth moment together. So I don't know, let me know if you'd want that in the comments, DMs, whatever. So today I'm hoping that you will walk away with your values defined, your ideal schedule mapped out, your business model chosen, and your pricing all figured out. That's what I'm hoping. That's what my hope is today, that you're going to figure all of that out through this episode. And I do want to put out a disclaimer that you might want to like pause throughout this episode if this is something that you listen through first and then go back and like pause it when you need to. I am totally down for you doing that because it definitely will help. Okay, so get your notebooks, get your pens, get your drink. I'm drinking my homemade grapefruit and orange juice. I've been into juicing lately, and I've literally only been juicing pineapples and grapefruit and oranges, but I am open to more juice recipes. So if you have any, let me know because I definitely want to try some more. Okay, so step 1 is defining your anti-hustle values. Okay, so I'm going to write that down while we talk about this. This is where we're going to share our non-negotiables, what our like enough number is, like how much you think will be like enough. You can always make more, but like you want your business to hit a base number always. Like you just want to have that base number. And then you're going to write down some things that you refuse to do for money. Okay. So I'm gonna, write that down. Define anti-hustle values. Okay, so number 1 will be your non-negotiables. What are you absolutely like not willing to sacrifice? We've done this in our Future You project where we're like, what are non-negotiables on how to get to our future life? You're going to do the same thing for your business. What are the non-negotiables that you're like not willing to sacrifice? Is that time with family? Is that Sunday rest like me? Is that losing on 8 hours of sleep? Like write down all of your non-negotiables, and I'm going to give you a little time to pause. Okay. And I'm going to write these down. So for me, time with family actually is a big one. When I go out of town, my like immediate family, I live close to my husband's side and my brother lives here, but my mom, my other siblings, everybody else, my grandparents, they all live like in different states all over. So when I get to spend time with them, like I don't want that to be interrupted, and I'm not bringing any work supplies. So time with family is a big one. And then working Sundays. Sundays is a day that I have decided that I just wanted to use for absolutely nothing other than things that I want to do or like things that come up. This is a time for me to be like a regular human being where I'm not running a business, I'm not responding to clients, I'm not doing work. I am literally doing everything else that I like to do, whether that is meal prepping, cleaning my house, just playing video games all day. The fall's about to come up, so maybe I'll be outside going to pumpkin patches. In the summertime, it was going to the pool, it was just being outside, things like that. Sunday was the day for that, and it started to trickle into Saturday as well, just because I was like finishing all of my work Monday through Friday, which praise God, but I do have Saturdays open for like if I do have to work a little bit of overtime, but for the most part, Saturday, Sunday are the days that I'm not working. Sunday is totally a non-negotiable. I'm also going to write down my mental health. I'm not willing to sacrifice my mental health for the sake of my business. If your mental health is not good, your business is not going to be good. And I just can't see myself running a business when I'm stressed, when I'm burnt out, when I'm not feeling it, all of that. So, whatever it takes for my mental health to be healthy, then I will do that. I'm not willing to sacrifice my mental health for my business. Now we're moving on to your enough number. Now, this isn't a number that just sounds good. This is a number that actually is what is needed and what is wanted. So you're going to come up with a number that will just in your head think of an enough number, but like this is a number that will make you feel financially secure. What do you need and what do you want? So I'm going to write that down. So again, this is a number that you're just like, if my business brings this much in, I will be okay. We are going to go through a little bit more of what that will look like, what your hourly rate should be and everything. So you might have it higher, it might be lower, but for now, just write down the number you think is good. So number 3 is what you won't do. Okay, this is what you refuse to do, even for good money. So, for instance, like I said, I'm not willing to sacrifice my mental health. So, I'm literally, I'm going to write that down again because I think that that is actually something that you need to protect at all costs. I'm not willing to work on Sundays. Again, like these are things that are absolutely no's for me. And you can write down as many of these as you want, or if it's literally you just have one, you're just like, as long as I am working my 40 hours and that's it, like I'm not going over 40 hours, that's it, then that's fine. If you have multiple, that's fine as well. It can also be like undercharging. And this is a big one because I said for good money, but you think like, okay, somebody's about to pay me, let's say somebody's going to pay you $1,000 and you're like, oh my gosh, that's a big number coming into my business. Like I'm going to do whatever this project entails. But then you realize the amount of work that that person is wanting is actually under charging, like it's under what you would do. It's just a big lump sum in one span of time, if that makes sense. So just make sure you're not undercharging at all. But that is something that I realize that I can no longer do because I want my business to grow. And the longer that I allow my clients to pay me undercharged rates, I'm not going to grow. So make sure that you have that going. And then the last thing you're going to do is put your personal mission. So in one sentence, why are you building this business differently? This is going to really help you keep these values in place and really help you going forward in your business in general. Part of my mission statement, it's actually a little bit, I feel like it's kind of long, my mission statement, but it's all really good. This is one sentence that I pulled from it that I feel like explains my whole brand, who I am as a person, what I aim to do, and all of the things like that. So, my mission statement sentence says, we help creators move from rushed inconsistency to confident, consistent content that truly reflects their voice and vision, all while preserving the time freedom that makes entrepreneurship worthwhile. So, for those of you who don't know, I have a business where I edit for other content creators. I'm in the process of creating more services for that business. I have not launched it yet. My whole brand is cozy, anti-hustle, everything, and I want that for my clients as well. So my business should already show that, so that way when my clients come into it, they're seeing that that is possible. So after doing all of this, I can see where my values are, what I am not willing to do, what is not enough for me and everything. And now we're going to go into designing our ideal schedule. So most people, and including myself, have built a business and then tried to fit their life within that business, but we're doing the complete opposite. We are literally just going to flip that, and we're going to basically fill our business into the gaps that we have, if that makes sense. So this schedule that you create will become your business strategy. Let's map this out. So starting with our ideal work hours, the two questions that I want you to answer in this are, when are you the most energetic? When are you the most productive? And when do you want to be completely off? So for me, late mornings is usually when I'm ready to go. Honestly, when I wake up, I'm ready to go, but I have to have time to myself first, because then I'll feel like I just worked all day. So I'm going to say 10 a.m. is when I'm most energetic. And then I'm going to put 6 p.m. is when I want to be completely off. I'm going to put clock out. If you think about a regular 9 to 5, you clock in, you clock out. And once you clock out, you don't think about work. You don't talk about work. You don't do anything related to work. You just clock out. So 6 p.m. is going to be that time for me, just so that way I can also have an evening with my husband and just doing things that I want to do, having a life outside of my business. Okay, now you're going to figure out what your maximum work hours a week are. Okay, so this can literally be anything. Now, just because you're wanting to work more does not mean that you are hustling. That just means that you have a longer capacity for work. Hustling is going over the limit and having this 24/7 policy where you just never turn your brain off for work, and I just can't handle that. So for me, I do say that my maximum amount of hours a week is 10 hours, or sorry, not 10. It's 10 hours a day, but it is 50 hours a week. So if I was working, maybe I worked until 6:30 2 nights instead of just the one. I start from 10, go to 6:30. And then maybe on Saturday, I do have to end up working all day. 50 hours is my max, but that extra 10 hours is considered overtime. If I'm working on Saturday, most likely I'm charging people more money because they're wanting something a little bit more rushed. Pick a number that is the highest amount of work hours that you're willing to work a week. That way you don't start resenting your work. Once you figure that out, you're going to now go into non-negotiable time off. So you're going to break this up into 3 different sections: daily, weekly, and seasonally. So I already said that 6 p.m. is my time off. So I'll put clock out. Weekly, the days that I have completely off are Sundays. And then seasonally, when do you need more or less? So I'm taking all the holidays off. If it's a government holiday and the government's off, so is Michaela. Big holidays that I would take off for are Thanksgiving and Christmas for sure. And I honestly might take off more than a traditional 9 to 5. Maybe I take off an entire week, or maybe I take off an entire month, whatever the case may be. But really think about that. This is something that I'm going to have to go back through, and I can't just like think about it here on the podcast, but I do can think of like the holidays that I know like that this day I am not going to be working. My birthday, my anniversary, like things like that, I want to take to enjoy those. And being the perks of being an entrepreneur is that you're able to take those days off. And if you already have employees or people that work with you, this is also where you can ask them, like, what are your non-negotiables? What are you not willing to do? What days are you wanting to have off, and things like that. So you can also build that into your employees as well and into your business as a whole, and not just you as the CEO. And then the last one is your life maintenance. So this is going to be appointments, errands, self-care, all the things. I personally would schedule those in. So if you're like, every month I want to take one day extra off to go to a coffee shop and just like do a hobby, or maybe Monday before work you have like a team self-care hour or whatever. I don't know what that would look like, but that sounds cool. But just like kind of building that into the schedule. The same with like appointments and errands. As a business owner and as a CEO, I really wouldn't just try to like do things on a whim. I would try to keep your appointments and your errand running and all of that kind of on certain days. That way you are able to kind of like put your head down and work on certain days and know like, okay, Mondays is a lighter day, so that's when I'm going to have my appointment, or whatever the case may be. So I would write those down as well, figure those out, because this isn't like extra things you do on the side. You're really trying to build your business around your life and not the opposite way, because ultimately when you're building a business, it's to serve your community and to serve others, but it's also to help you and to help your family and to just support your lifestyle. So don't feel bad for having your business revolve around your life and not the other way around. All right, I refreshed, got a little sip of my drink, walked around, all the things. Now we're coming back to step 3, which is choosing your anti-hustle business model. So I have 5 different models here for you to choose from. You can choose more than one, but I would say like choosing one as your main source of income would be perfect. So the anti-hustle criteria is high value and a lower time commitment. It allows for boundaries. It doesn't require you to always be on, and it fits your energy patterns. So going through these and choosing 1 or 2 or 3 is going to be ideal, because you know what your model is supposed to look like, what you're trying to do, and how to run the business like going forward. So option 1 is a done for you services. So basically kind of like what I do, which is video editing and soon to be content branding. I am doing all of these for you at a cost, and it will be a little bit higher, but you get fewer clients with higher prices, and it kind of like balances out versus having a lot of clients and lower prices, or a lot of clients and no time. This business model is really what my business model's after, but it doesn't have to be yours. Okay. But this one also creates deep relationships with those clients, and also you can like just have really quality work with this one. The second option is a productized. Why does that sound so weird? Productized? I don't know. Productized services. Why can I not like figure out how to say that? What? It's basically you have the same service and it's a streamlined process. So say you are making t-shirts, you have the same process, you have the same templates. People just are like choosing from a certain template, and you do it. It's a clear scope and gives your clients a very predictable delivery. So the third option is signature programs. This is really good for people who are teaching, people that are life coaches, fitness coaches. Maybe you are like me and you're just kind of like helping other people do anti-hustle things and you make a course about that. Like, that is really good. This to me is a really good model for people who don't plan on working a lot. It does not work for everybody, but it can. And it works really well for those who are trying to teach and trying to help and showing like some expertise. I think that this works really, really well. This could be coming with a bunch of videos that are pre-recorded and then you put it into a package and sell it that way. It could be like an ebook that you sell that way. Again, like I said, this is really good for people who plan on working very little hours because it's a one-time creation process, and then all you're doing now is like selling it. And that to me is a really, really, really good way of just like kind of having like side income. Again, this one leverages your time and your expertise. Option 4 is retainer clients, and this is just like predictable monthly income just because you have clients that will like sign on for 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, however long you do your contracts for. You kind of know that this is like the income that's coming in because they've signed the contract saying, I'm going to pay you X amount of money each month for this service or product. A benefit to this option is ongoing relationships. I think the longer that you work with somebody, the longer they have like experience with you under their belt, the more likely they are to recommend you to friends and family and all the things, and you'll get like just word of mouth. I think word of mouth is a really, really, really probably the best way of getting your business like out there because it's people that trust you and they're talking about you. Okay, and the last one is option 5, which is digital products. This is again a create once and sell many times type deal. And it's very, very, very passive income. And I truly believe that everybody who is a business owner should have some type of digital product because it is just that. It is passive income. It can be $1, $2, $3, $50, $100, whatever. You can make it however you want it to be. But with this model, it's not just making a digital product just to make a digital product. It's making that product for helping others. When I was doing the Future You project notebook, I realized that many people were asking and wanting to know more. They were wanting to write things down. They were wanting to have some type of like template. And that is why that did well. And that is why I created the Future You project template, because it was something that my audience was already looking for. It wasn't just a digital product just to say that I had a digital product. So these are some red flags that I want you to avoid when choosing these. Number 1 is trading time for money at low rates. Number 2 is custom work requiring you to constantly be available. That's an absolute no. I have realized that that just does not work for my business model because I have set hours that I'm working, days that I'm not on. And if I'm having somebody that like needs me at like the drop of a hat, it just doesn't work. And I just realized that that doesn't work for me. So I am going to be, putting that more into my anti-hustle business plan. And last but not least is a 24/7 customer service, whatever. I feel like people can reach out to you 24/7, but that doesn't mean that you respond 24/7. So I think I've said this before, but the fact that people can have constant access to you is not good. It should not be that way. You should not allow people to have 24-hour access to you, especially clients, because you can really get burnt out. You can start to resent, you can start to want to push them away. And I just don't think that that is what you need for your business. I definitely think that having a 24/7 customer service thing is just not good, because then people just kind of take advantage of that. So I wouldn't have the 24/7 customer service. However, if they reach out to you at 12 a.m., they're not going to hear a response until 10 a.m. or later. So just having that in mind. So the options that I have chosen are 1, 4, and 5. Option 1 is just kind of how my business is right now. It is, higher prices, fewer clients, and it's a service that I provide. I do services for people so that they don't have to do them. 4, I forgot what these are. Okay, yeah. Option 4 is retainer clients. I do have the option to be a retainer client for my business. Those are really nice, again, just because it's kind of like income that is coming in, because people sign a contract saying they're going to pay you X amount of money for a certain amount of time. So that's just another one. And then 5, like I said, digital products. I think every business should have digital products just as passive income. But, if you're not like somebody who is tech savvy or want to do that, absolutely, by all means, don't do that. Okay, and the very last step we're going to do is price for your lifestyle. So this is going to be probably my favorite one to do. I am going to kind of like think about it while I'm sitting here, but again, it's one of those things that you kind of have to dive deep into and just kind of think about everything in life that you want. So I'll just kind of like ramble some stuff off here and there. Like I said before, most people who start a business, most entrepreneurs, most creators, when they start doing the thing, are doing it to help support their lifestyle. They're wanting a change in their life. They're wanting a change in the way that they work, a change in an industry, whatever. But at the end of the day, you're wanting it to help you and help like support your family. And so when pricing things, you want to price for your entire lifestyle, not just your business. So it's not just supposed to cover your expenses, but also your dreams and your desires as well. Okay, so you're going to calculate all of this together. Again, I'm not going to go too in depth because it would take like a long time for me to come up with all of this on my own, but we're going to calculate everything. And the step 1 is your life expenses. So these are things that you pay for all the time: car payment, rent, mortgage, insurance, groceries. Trying to think of something else that's like a necessity: electricity, water, all of those. Like write all of those down, the numbers, what you pay for, and just like calculate it. Okay. Don't judge your number. Okay. If it's super high, if it's super low, it doesn't matter. Don't judge it. Just write it down. Write down how much all of that is. And then step 2 is going to be your life desires. Now, this is something that you're going to have to think about a little bit more, because these are like what you want to do for hobbies, treats, fun. Also, in life expenses can be like a gym membership too. So just, everything that is like a necessity for the way you live. And then you're going to move over to your life desires. So this can be like travels, hobbies, things of that nature. So if you're like, I want to take a vacation let's say you take like a quarterly vacation, that's like a 3-4 day vacation at the end of every quarter, and you take 1 week long vacation during the summer. Like, what are the expenses for that? How much are you wanting to spend for each trip? What are you like wanting to do on the trip? You have to come up with that full number. And again, I know this can sound hard because it sounds like selfish, but it's not. You literally built the business. You're building a business to have a certain lifestyle change. Okay. That, I don't know if that's a hot take, But for me, that is why I'm building a business. Okay, in step 3, now you're going to do your business expenses. This is your subscriptions, what you need to purchase. If you're making products, maybe it's like the materials you need. For me, it's a lot of programs and like subscription based things, but then also sometimes it's equipment like new cameras, lenses, other things, because on top of my video editing business, I also have the like my social media, my content side. So I do like need film gear and lights and microphones and all the things. So it could be stuff like that. So write down all of that as well. Circle that number. Okay, we're going to circle all these numbers. Step 4 is the savings and emergency fund. I do believe that you should have like a savings for your business and a savings for your personal. So for your savings, you're going to write down how much you want to save a month. So all of these should be monthly expenses, not really like yearly. It should just kind of be broken down into how much you would spend or put aside or whatever a month for these things. And then step 5 is adding up all of those. Okay. So I don't know. I'm going to kind of write down some random numbers here just because like I would have to really go through my stuff, and having full numbers is easier than just having like random, like, oh, this is 3,419. Like it would just be harder. So I'm putting for life expenses 3,000, life desires 1,000, business expenses 2,500, and the savings I'm going to put another like 1,000. We're just going to make that super easy. So then we're going to add that up. So monthly, what is needed, you can always make more. You can always make more. What is needed is, off of those numbers that I just came up with, is $7,500. So $7,500. So based on your ideal schedule from step 2, you're going to divide that number by the hours. So if that makes sense. Okay, I was confusing myself a little bit, but I figured it out. Based on your ideal schedule from section 2, you're basically going to take the hours that you're willing to work a week and divide it by that number. So, or no, sorry, you're going to add that up per month. So I said that I was going to work 50 hours a week, and there's 4 weeks in a month. So that means I'm working 200 hours a week. So I would then divide 200 by 7,500. I know I'm doing math so fast. The thing is free, guys. The whole guide will be free. So you're able to like figure this out and it will make more sense. I promise. I'm not the best math teacher, but yeah, divide the amount that you need a month by the hours you work a month. So my hourly rate should be $37.50 based on these numbers that I put here, which isn't honestly too bad. Based off the number that I have here, it will be $37.50. So that is what I need to factor into every time I am doing a project, or if you're making a product or whatever. So I want you to have like a little reality check moment, because this number could feel a little bit higher than you thought, which is totally normal and it's okay. And it can be high, but you also want to think about the product you're putting out and the quality that you're putting out, and make sure that that number matches, because you can price yourself a little bit too high. And so you want to like kind of just rework some things. Maybe you will work a little bit more, or maybe you just don't do as much. Whatever you're not willing to like let go. Remember I said we're having some non-negotiables, and if your non-negotiable is like I'm only working 10 hours a week, then somewhere else, something else should sacrifice to make sure that you're still getting the piece that you need while also pricing yourself right and also just not hustling. So this part can be a little bit tricky, but for the most part, I think it's pretty accurate. It gives you a good look of where you should be and what you're doing. And I love this. I love that number. I love this. It's really good. So yeah, I can't wait to like go through and do all of this. Again, this whole guide will be down below. It will be for free. I'm going to make it for free so that way you guys can have an anti-hustle business plan, because I definitely think that it is something that is needed 1000%. Okay, so now you have your anti-hustle values and non-negotiables. You have your ideal schedule that protects your life, basically. You have a business model that fits your energy, and you have what you should be charging that will not only support your business and support your needs, but will also support your desires and your dreams and your future. Oh my gosh, like how amazing is that? So what I want you to do is take this and just kind of sit with it for a few days. If you need to add or take away or rework or do whatever, you can. That's the beauty of being a business owner, is like it's just things that you can change and perfect and continue to grow. And so I want you to sit with this for a few days, and then you're going to move on to steps 5 through 10 and finish out everything. It's going to be really, really good. So again, let me know if you're wanting to go through this whole thing together, because if so, the next steps would be making systems and boundaries. And I think that's like really good. So just let me know in the comments on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, whatever. I think it would be really cool. But again, I'm doing this for you and not just me. So I want to do what you guys want to see. But then your homework will be to download this guide and start working on steps 5 through 10. You can take as many days as you want to finish this. It does not have to be a sit down and do it all in one thing. You can really take your time, think about the like long run of your business and how you want it to look and feel and everything. And that's what's going to get you the best results. And then I want to hear from you. I want to have this little CEO entrepreneur community going. I want to hear from you in the comments. Let me know like how this felt for you, if this was helpful, if you would like in more in depth, all the things. Like I just want to hear how this is working for you in your business, and if you even needed like an anti-hustle plan. Like, is your business already an anti-hustle business, or is it very much so hustling and you're trying to like tone it down? Like, let me know. I am so very excited to get this started and to like dive even deeper in this. I probably next time will use my iPad with the like downloaded PDF, just so you guys can kind of see a little bit more of how that would work. But I'm so excited to just like kind of start implementing these into my business now, and to really like hone in what needs to be done to make my business not only sustainable for my business and just for like a little extra income, but to really start to support my dreams and my future self. I think that it's just going to be really, really cool, and I don't have to hustle and burn out getting there. I can really take my time and have fun with my business while also having fun with my life. So just remember, you deserve a business that does not consume your life. It supports it. Okay. I want you to remember that. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, follow me on everything. I don't need to go through all the things. I love you guys. Thanks so much for being here. And until next time, bye everybody.